Yesterday we drove through Texas and we went through the town of Marathon, which is the closest town to the north side entrance of Big Bend National Park. And we went past Marathon and we found a picnic rest stop off the side of the road, decided to stay there for the evening. And now we are only 30 minutes or about 30 miles away from the north entrance of Big Bend. Well, our first stop is the fossil discovery exhibit, which is really neat. There's all kinds of fossils, and it talks about just this entire area and how it was in a sea millions of years ago. And they have some fossils on exhibit that you can check out through the glass, and it's just a really neat place. If you're in the area here at Big Bend, don't skip on this. It's got a lot of great history that they talk about. I just saw a Border Patrol plane fly overhead. We've seen like 2 or 3 Border Patrol trucks since we came through here. Look, it's a giant wishbone. I'm gonna wish that I can do this forever. They got some cool little fact charts here, and then you check out the other side to get the answers of what they're asking. We just stopped over at the Panther Junction Visitor Center. They have a gas station here, so if you're worried about being outside the park and maybe not getting through, don't worry about that. This is basically in the center of the park, so whatever roads you're taking from, whether you're on the west side or the east side, you're going to pass through here, and the gas station is right here.
Here at the Visitor Center, there is this little path out here of all the different desert plants, and it's pretty cool if you wanted to learn about them, because where I'm from, I've never seen anything like this. It's so bizarre. It's like I'm in another world, another planet. These I don't even know how they survive. It's crazy, the things that they have to go through, and it just talks a little bit about each plant. And my favorite so far are the really, really bright purple, kind of magenta cacti.
We're going to head out and go to our campsite for the night. We are, it's kind of like a boondocking site. There's no electricity, but they should have some pit toilets. We're going to the Cottonwood Campground here in Big Bend National Park.
Good morning. We are at Cottonwood Campground, just inside the park, which is pretty cool. We have a really nice spot here. We got some mountains, and just behind this fence, you can't see them because of the weeds, bushes, I don't know. But there are horses and mules. I know this because we could hear them all night. Not all night, that's dramatic, but we heard them when we pulled in, and Pete's just like, It's pretty funny. I was hoping to see one, but maybe later. Derek also saw a roadrunner, and he's mad that I didn't see it in time because it ran away very fast. He's like, I swear I saw one. I'm like, I believe you. It's fine. They run to 20 miles per hour. So we'll just keep a lookout, but it's a pretty cool campsite. We have a lot of nature around us. And I sit on laps. We are in the Chihuahuan Desert, and we are going up the Chisos Basin in the Chisos Mountains.
What's really special about the Chisos Mountains is this is the only national park that has its own mountains entirely within it, and that's the Chisos Mountains.
Pretty cool. You may not know this, but in the desert, they have the most variety of bird species, 450 different types of birds right here.
Here in Big Bend National Park. That's more than any other national park in the U.S.
Wow. Sometimes when I have my stage 5 clinger,
all right, we're heading to cooler climes in the mountains.
He helps me. The higher we're going up the Chisos Basin, we are seeing a noticeably different landscape. The vegetation has grown. We do not feel like we are in the desert anymore. The Chisos mountain range is considered a sky island. There's quite a few in Arizona and Texas. Even Guadalupe mountain range is considered a sky island because it shoots up from the desert and has its own ecosystem. It's pretty cool.
We just came face to face with a roadrunner.
Anything with animals, I'm all for it.
Absolutely. Beep beep. We're doing the Window View Trail, which is only 0.3 miles round trip, so not much of a trail. It's completely paved, but
My kind of trail.
it promises an excellent view at the end. What did you just say?
We made it. I didn't think we'd ever make it.
It's a 0.3 mile round trip.
We just started. It's there.
We just pulled off to do the lower Mesa Burro trail. It's half mile out, half mile back, so 1 mile round trip. Can't beat that. And that keeps her happy at all times. So it goes into like a little canyon and Pouroff, and it's 100 feet high. I think this would be a good little trip for people that got kids, want to just like do something real quick, something easy, and kind of explore around. It's a paved road coming all the way up, so it's not like some of these trails where you have to go down a dirt road. This is very simple.
This rock does not look real. This looks like a Disney rock if I've ever seen one.
Well, I'm an idiot. I thought I was touching a harmless cacti.
Is there such a thing?
And I didn't see any pricklies, and there were. And now we have to go back to the van and pluck them all out. Bunch of little ones. Okay. Let's see if we can. Oh, God. My hero.
Not the first time that I've had to save you from a bad decision. I don't know how you're still alive, honestly. You're welcome.
Now that my finger is mended, we are here at the Santa Elena Canyon, and we're gonna go for a little hike. It's a 1.6 mile hike in, and you can even cross over the Rio Grande.
You're not talking about the best part. It's on a fault line of the plate tectonics.
So a lot of you may know that the Rio Grande is basically the borderline between the US and Mexico. And you can actually go for a swim in it, but it's really neat because this fault line, these cliffs go up on this mesa 1,500 feet. They said that's the height of the Empire State Building.
Again.
It is so nice and cool, and the greenery is just lush here. There's so much. I just got to the end of the trail and I'm the only one out here. There's a couple people that just left, but it's just me. Now I'm making my way back, and this is the view as I'm returning back to the parking lot. Doesn't get better than this. I have no clue why the height is not bothering me. Like, it is a sheer drop off. And that river is not deep at all, but for some reason it's not bothering me. Maybe it's my mind thinking, hey, you're going to fall in water, you'll be fine. I will not be fine. That is not going to be the case. I'm going to seriously injure myself, but this isn't bothering me. So just to give a better understanding of where the campground is, it's right back over here over this hill. And it's only a couple miles, if that, just down the road. So if you're wanting to stay in this area of the park, I mean, you can't beat this. Now it's time for me to head back down. Now I wasn't worried for some reason coming up. It was not an issue for me. So we're going to find out how it is with me going down and having to see everything around me. Didn't bother me at all. Somebody explain that to me. Explain why I have this weird fear of heights, and then at other times I don't. I've always defined it as a fear of falling. I don't trust my feet. I don't know. I don't get it. you get here. I don't know what the water level is going to be, but it's very low right now. It's in January. It looks like you can come up right here. That looks like the start of the path, but there's water there right now. So if you go up a little bit farther, maybe another 30 to 50 yards, you'll see that you can go up the little cliffs over there, and there's a path that goes along the edge, and that'll bring you up to the trail. So you might have to cross the water, you may not have to. It all depends on the time of year and the rain that they've been getting. Today we left the Cottonwood Campground in Big Bend National Park, and we're making our way to Terlingua, home of the chili cook-off. That's right, the first chili cook-off ever took place in Terlingua. But not just that, this used to be a very big mercury mining town, but after the mercury dried out, so did the town. So now you can drive around and check out what's now a ghost town. But just because it's a ghost town doesn't mean that they don't have plenty of great bars, restaurants, and shopping. So we're gonna go and check it out today. last night we partook in the local watering hole. It's called the Boathouse. Great bar. Kind of like a dive bar, but even better. It was not busy when we first got there. They opened at 4:20, and we got there around 5. And just as we were thinking about leaving, everybody came in. It is a dog-friendly bar, so we had Pete there. He, at some point, went off-leash and was playing with other dogs and everybody else.
They were all mingling.
They were mingling, yeah. But we're hurting a little bit today, but we are here getting breakfast now. Adios. So today we left Terlingua and we made our way all the way across the park to the Rio Grande side of the park where our campsite's going to be for tonight. And we're about to go and do the Boquillas Canyon Trail. They say that you might see some wild animals or even like farm animals. When we pulled up into the parking lot, there was a dog. We're pretty sure it's from Mexico.
Beautiful dog.
Well, just right behind us is Mexico.
We just found horses from Mexico, and it's pretty cool. They're just hanging out, doing their thing.
We're going to try another way. We're going to go on this rock cliff.
Look at that.
We got this. Yeah, well, I'll be fine. Yep. That was so much easier. Oh. Well, we just got here to the Boquillas Campground. There's 2 campgrounds that you can do. There's the regular campground that allows tents, vans like ours, really any RV. I've seen plenty of RVs here, but there is an RV park where you're gonna wanna book ahead of time, but they do have hookups over there. So we did stay outside of the park in Terlingua, and we found some RV parks out there for the last couple nights, just because we wanted to charge everything up before we got over to the opposite side of the park. And we're going to be in the park now for the next 3 days. So we wanted to be sure that we were all charged up before, we started dry camping for a little bit. Well, we were just coming down the Grapevine Road. It's over by the Chisos Basin. It heads out to the Balanced Rock Trail, which is, a decent trail. It's a very popular place to go out to. It's a big rock that's just like leaning over and balanced up. But the problem is it's over 6 miles to get out there, which is over 30 minutes, and it is a dirt road. We've come down not very far at all, and it's already like potholes here and there. It's not a terribly bad road. It's just, we're not going to drive 6 miles out with our van. It's just going to rock everything up. So we're not going to go and do Balanced Rock. So right now we're going to see what else we can find to do for today. I think we might be going to some hot springs. Do not go down this road with an RV. We're skimming by in this van. This is rough.
And narrow.
The last 2 nights we stayed at the Rio Grande village here in the park, and the idea was that we would stay there, be on that side of the park, and cross over the crossing to Boquillas. But I didn't realize that it's not open on Mondays and Tuesdays. So here we are. We're in Chisos Campground now, and it's absolutely beautiful. But tomorrow is Wednesday, so we're going to go across the border tomorrow. But you got to check out the views at this campground. So like I was saying, just keep in mind that during the wintertime, they are closed on Mondays and Tuesdays, and the last border crossing is at 4 p.m. So you're going to want to plan around that. I don't know why I thought that they were 7 days a week. I don't know. But yeah, look at the website. Be sure that you just check and make sure that everything's going fine. They were closed for 11 years. So who knows what might happen, especially in the climate that we're in of what's going on with the borders. So you just don't know what's going to happen with that. So just look up that information before you book a campsite. Well, we just pulled up to our campsite, and the spot that we had was spot 60, and it's a really great view, but the parking was very difficult. We were barely off the side of the road because it's, I mean, a lot of campsites with tents. So it only had like enough space, barely for us to be pulled off, but it wasn't going to be comfortable. So the ranger actually saw me and came over and asked, "Hey, you want to go for a ride and check out some other sites?" And I was like, "Yeah, absolutely." So he took us over and got to pick out a site. He told us the ones with the best views. Then I went back to the van and drove up, and it was awesome. Really great for him to reach out and see that we were in a little bit of need. Well, this morning we left the Chisos Campground that we stayed in last night, and at this point it was during the winter vortex, so it was pretty cold last night. But we're filling up at the gas station over here at Panther Junction, and honestly the price is not that bad. It was about $4.10 in Marathon, just north of here, and here it's at $3.31. So I figured like filling up before we came into the park would be better. I thought it'd be a lot more expensive, but I mean, that was maybe 5 days ago. So something to consider. There are a couple places here that you can fill up with gas, but the Panther Junction is like right in the center of the park. So it's a perfect spot wherever you're staying to fill up with some gas. These are one of the luxuries of just driving on the open desert road. I get to just hang out with my guy. So right now, we are driving to the Mexican border over in Boquillas. And this morning we gave Pete a little bit of an anxiety pill. So he is... Anti-anxiety. So he is starting to feel it. He's feeling nice and cool, and we're gonna leave him in the vehicle, even though in Big Bend you're not supposed to be leaving your dog in the vehicle. It's 45 degrees outside, and we're gonna have the AC running, so he'll be fine. We'll even have a camera set up just to watch him. So here we go. We're going to Mexico.
Now, this is not an everyday occurrence. This is actually the first time he's ever been on his lap while driving. We do not allow this ever, but he's just acting a little funny right now because he's not feeling well. So we're kind of letting it slide. But again, there's no one around, so it's okay. But you shouldn't do this. If anything were to happen, I can grab him real quick. Like a roadrunner and coyote, flying past, just in case. We stayed at the Chisos Campground last night, and it's beautiful there. And we got to step outside and see the dark sky. It is just such a beautiful area, and we got to see a rabbit. I don't think it was a jackrabbit, even though he was really pumped thinking it would be. Just a regular one. We saw a lot of birds. I think with our old age, we're turning into birders, and especially at this park. There are beautiful birds here. Bright blue, bright red, beautiful birds. And it was very quiet. There's bathrooms. Nice, normal bathrooms, not a pit toilet.
I think this is like one of the best drives into a campground that I've ever seen. Like driving into the mountain area and then like down into the basin. It's so beautiful. And it's only $16 a night because you don't get any
Power,
utilities or
water,
anything.
yeah. But if they have a restroom, that's pretty cool. Because sometimes that's hard to find. And if you're in a camper van, you're okay, but everyone else in those tents, I feel bad for them.
The other thing is they do have a lodge there, so they do have like a hotel area, and a restaurant, and a grocery shopping place. So if you forgot stuff, you don't have to worry about that. You have plenty of options for staying and getting food and drinks and stuff like that. And then the Panther Junction gas station is just down the mountain, just a few miles down the road. So you really don't have to worry about, not having those amenities or things that you want.
One thing I was actually surprised that they had was laundry service. They have 2 washers and 2 dryers, and they have showers. You have to pay $2 for 5 minutes or something like that. So that's kind of helpful. And we were going to do laundry, but then there was people in front of us, and there's only 2 machines, so we decided to go to our next campsite and do other things. But anyways, what I was saying is, when you go into the shop, you can get smaller bills. So I was able to buy quarters off of the man, and I was getting ready to do some laundry before I realized there was going to be too many people in front of us. So it's kind of helpful to know that you can get smaller bills if you are planning on crossing into Mexico, because they would prefer you to have smaller bills when you get there. You are allowed to use US dollars, which is helpful. Just make sure you have smaller bills.
Okay, so we just talked to the Border Patrol for the U.S. We're just walking through. We just explained everything that we needed to know, including, no bringing alcohol or food back across. But basically, we're just going to walk down to the river. It's a $5 trip for a boat ride both ways. And then if you want to take a mule or a horse, mule is going to be $10, horse is going to be $15. So that's per person. So be sure you got cash. All right. Gracias.
Welcome to Mexico.
Oh, gracias.
You pay here for the boat. $35 per person. Here your boat ticket. You want to ride donkey, horses?
No, we're okay.
You want to walk?
Yeah, we're going to walk it out. Thank you. No, gracias. Well, we are officially in Mexico. So usually,
Get some amazing tips from people that were coming back.
yeah. So we just stopped to talk to the guys, asked them like, hey, how was it? And they said, you know, everything was great. Food was awesome. Drinks were great. But they rode the burros, the donkeys, over. And they said that the guy was with you like the entire time, even while they were in town.
They're like, you rent the man with the donkey. So he follows you around. So they went to lunch. And he just stood there.
Now, I mean, I don't know if every guy's going to be like that, but we just want to enjoy this. So we're going to just walk into town on our own.
Just walk. No gracias.
Hola.